What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be shoutcasting some battles submitted to the channel by Arning, who's running the new G.O.A.T in the Open Great League, which you may have seen featured on a few channels by now, but this trainer paired it with some seriously spicy picks, including Medicham, a level 51 Nidorina, and I do believe they also used Turtonator towards the end of the video. There was a lot of hype surrounding G.O.A.T before its release due to the insane grass moveset coupled with the perfect coverage in Rockside, but unfortunately Niantic did remove Rockside from its move pool at the last minute. As a grass type, this is still the first time we're seeing the incredibly overpowered Vine Whip and Leaf Blade combination, but the coverage of Brick Break, which is an awful move, means that it's unfortunately completely walled by a lot of the typical counters to grass types. With that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. Which Pokemon typing as a whole do you think struggles the most in the Go Battle League due to its lack of coverage moves to fight back against typical counters? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Medicham into a Pelipper, so this should be a fairly decent matchup for us. Of course, Wing Attack is resisted, Weather Ball will be neutral damage, and they are resisting the Water Gun damage as well, but Ancient Power will hit for super effective here, so we go for the first one. The opponent does shield it up. We're going to let the first Weather Ball go through, doesn't do enough damage to threaten another shield here from the second Weather Ball, but I do believe they will barely outpace us to a third Weather Ball before we make it to a second Ancient Power, so we will commit one shield here to guarantee we can at least grab that final shield or take out the Pelipper from this range. So we go for Ancient Power number 2, grabbing that shield, and the opponent going to go for a full Wing Attack farm down. We're not quite going to make it to the Ancient Power. We settle for the Aqua Tail, but unfortunately they do barely live that, and they do Wing Attack farm us down. Now we come in with Go-Go. They've got quite a lot of energy. I don't know if that was a Hurricane or a Weather Ball. I literally have no idea. I do believe these battles are in German, but they come in with a Lantern. This is perfect for us. Leaf Blade does huge damage. We're going to resist everything. They can throw whatever they want. It doesn't matter. Surf does very little damage, and then they come in with a Whimsicott, and we have literally the best response here in the form of Nidorina. We go for a Poison Fang. Poison Fang going to be double super effective. It nearly one-shots them. We get the farm down, and the opponent just concedes the match there. Bit interesting that they came in with Lantern instead of the Whimsicott there, but into the next game, and we see an awful lead matchup into Trevenant. Trevenant, not too common these days, but it does completely core break this team, very easily beating both the Medicham and the Go-Go, as it does completely hard wall us. We go for an Ancient Power, we do connect, and now we're going to swap into Nidorina. They come in with Galarian Stunfisk, and I'm not so sure about this. They are definitely not going to shield the first move. Poison Fang does not do much damage. It is triple resisted. Yes, of course it does debuff their defense, but it doesn't put them into range where one dig would take them out. I feel like we should just go straight dig in this matchup. But the opponent does overfarm. They go for the Earthquake. It one-shots the Nidorina. We come back in with the Medicham. At this point, I do agree with this decision. We're just going to fully sacrifice the Medicham as they go for a second Earthquake, but we get a very nice Vine Whip farm down. They then come in with Swampert. That is a strange play for sure. We're going to go for a Leaf Blade. Probably could have overfarmed more as they just fully sacrificed the Swampert. Now here, I have no idea why we're going for Brick Break. It's double resisted and it's non-stab. It doesn't really matter since they're going to shield anyways. At this point, we're going to call a Seed Bomb bait, but they full send the Shadow Ball, and unfortunately Trevenant will be able to Shadow Claw farm us down to take that game. But into the next game, another Pelipper in the lead, so we're probably going to play it out fairly similarly. We might even bait here just because it's pretty obvious they will shield the first move, but we're going to let the first move go through. It is that Weather Ball, and we are going to go straight for the Ancient Power once again. And does the opponent respect the damage here? No, they actually let it go through, and we get the Ancient Power boost, and it looks like they also overfarmed trying to reach, I don't know if they were going to go for a Hurricane there. Wouldn't make much sense to do that because it is resisted, but they come in with a Medicham, and at this point we're going to stay in. We are boosted. These Water Guns and Aqua Tails are seriously chunking, and we grab a shield from the Medicham, but they're going to get a massive counter farm down. We now come in with Nidorina. We do resist counter, but Psychic will hit for super effective damage, and the opponent does go straight for that Psychic there. We then go for a Poison Fang on the CMP tie as well. Considering they only threw one counter, I don't think this can be a Psychic here. We're going to shield it anyways. It's just a dynamic punch there, so yeah, definitely didn't need to shield that. They don't get 10 energy from a single counter. But we go for the Poison Fang, take them out, and here they're going to come in with Galarian Stunfisk. Once again, I have no idea why we're going for Poison Fang. We would definitely make it to a dig, and they're just going to be able to Earthquake us and take us out, but it doesn't really matter. Go-Go is in a great position. Earthquake takes out the Nidorina. We come in with the Go-Goat, and one thing to note, even though Brick Break is super effective, Leaf Blade will deal more damage when there's only a single difference in the type interactions. So obviously Brick Break is going to be super effective. Leaf Blade would be neutral, so Leaf Blade would actually deal more damage because it's such a better move, and also you do get stab on the Leaf Blade. In this matchup, it doesn't really matter because even if they go for Earthquake here, which they do, it still doesn't quite take us out. But it is good to note that in future games, if you do use Go-Goat, unless you're going up against like a pure steel type like Registeel for example, or up against the Sandslash here where it would be a 3-stage difference in the super effectiveness, then you do just want to go for those Leaf Blades. But here we're going to go for the Aqua Tail, throwing on the CMP tie. Drill Run does some nice damage, but they are running Powder Snow, so the fact that the opponent throws here, this is just going to be an Ice Punch, which we can very comfortably live, go for another Aqua Tail, and we should be able to grab a shield advantage, if nothing else. And the opponent will use their shield there, and we are going to go for the Aqua Tail, but we barely don't get there in time. That's really unfortunate. We come in with the Go-Goat, we let the move go through, and the opponent blind through a Drill Run there. That was a crazy call. I feel like that was just a little bit lucky there, but we are going to shield the next move as they go for the Ice Punch. We get the Vine Whip farm down, and the opponent comes in with Galarian Stunfisk. So once again, should be going for Leaf Blade, but obviously they haven't been able to apply this new knowledge that they have since I've just told them in this video, because these battles were obviously sent in way before I'm doing the commentary. So I mean, every time they see a G-Fisk, they're probably going to go straight Brick Break, but it doesn't really matter too much. I hope anyways. I hope we still win this game. But we're now going to go for another Brick Break. Brick Break not going to do too much damage. The opponent over farming massively there. Looks like they're trying to go for a Mudshot farm down. It didn't work out for them as we still take out the Stunfisk, and they've got a Jellicent in the back. So if we went straight Leaf Blade there, I don't think it would have made much of a difference here, but we can just go straight Poison Fang, debuff their defense by 2 stages, and probably at that point a dig would be enough damage to take them out. So we go for Poison Fang number 2, and this will get them fairly low actually, gets them close to the yellow health already. They make it to another charge move, we can just safely shield this up, and it's going to be another Surf here. We should even live a 3rd Surf from that range, but it doesn't matter, we get to the dig, and after the 2-stage debuff, dig takes out the Jellicent, and we take that game. Into the next game, we see a Surfetch in the lead, so not a great lead matchup for us whatsoever. Going to safe swap into Nidorina, go for a Poison Fang. The opponent tanks that, and then they swap into Altaria. So we're going to go for a Poison Fang, and Altaria kind of a core breaker to the team as well. Obviously, Relicanth can hit for super effective damage with the Ancient Powers, but they will resist the Water Gun damage. So even though we're a rock type there, I think Relicanth probably does lose that matchup against the Altaria. Really good timing by the opponent to throw just before we make it to Poison Fang number 3, and that actually forces a shield from us as we want to get that Poison Fang off. We go for it up against the Altaria, we swap back into Relicanth, and at this point we can just let this move go through. Probably will be a Moonblast here, Sky Attack would be resisted, and the opponent makes a nice combination play, but it doesn't really matter because that Moonblast was kind of pointless because a Leaf Blade would have taken us out anyways. But we come back in with Nidorina. We're actually going to shield here. As they go for the Leaf Blade, we can now go straight for a Poison Fang. Personally, I would have over-farmed, because if they let this go through, which they do, then it would have been nice to get a bit more energy. We will at least make it to a Poison Fang, and this will guarantee a Leaf Blade will take out the Lantern from this range. So that is something, and all we have to do here is over-farm. What we don't want to do is throw our charge move straight away, because if they swap back into the Altaria, we won't have a charge move to throw. Now, once again, Leaf Blade would be better, even though it's double resisted, because Brick Break is also single resisted and a worse move. But we go for the Brick Break anyways. Hopefully this doesn't cost us. It doesn't quite take them out, but we are barely able to get the Vine Whip farm down. That was very fortunate for us. We can now go for a Leaf Blade, and this will be enough damage to take out the Lantern, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next game, we're going to see a Talonflame. This is the best lead we could possibly see with the Relicanth. They safe swap into Swampert. We swap into our Go-Go. We do farm up quite a bit of energy here. And even if they go for Sludge Wave, I do think we should live this. And they do go for Sludge Wave. We barely live that. We do make it to a Leaf Blade, but I think if the opponent wants, they can double shield and farm us down with the Mudshot damage. But they do throw here. We are going to shield. Are we at 1 HP? No, we had at least 2 HP there as we do live that through the shield. We go for Brick Break for some reason. Doesn't really make a difference here, as the opponent does allow us to maintain the alignment there, and that's perfect because we can align Turtonator this time around, not Nidorina. It doesn't really matter. It's a great response to that Venusaur, but we come back in with the Relicanth. We can go straight for an Ancient Power. Ancient Power fully one-shots the Talonflame there. Possibly should have over-farmed here, as the Venusaur might be able to shield once and then just fully Vine Whip farm us down. So let's see, are they going to be able to farm us down from this range? No, it doesn't look like it. They do go for the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant going to take us out. It didn't really matter, as we did have a Charge Move loaded anyways, and I do believe we had a shield. So we go for the Dragon Pulse. The opponent probably just exited out of the app there, as we get a bit of lag, but we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see a Primeape in the lead, quite a spicy pick. The opponent responds to our Turtonator save swap with a Jellicent, which is not ideal, but Dragon Pulse does a decent amount of damage here, and we're only going to take neutral damage from the Surf, so they should be going for Shadow Ball here, but instead they go for a Bubble Beam. Going to debuff our attack, but I think a Dragon Pulse would still take them out from this range anyways, and it does take them out. We flip switch advantage. They now come in with Unova and Stunfisk, which would have made a lot more sense to come in with, but we are happy to let the Turtonator go down. We're actually going to come in with the Go-Goat here. I do agree with this, even though obviously Relicanth doesn't do too well up against the Primeape. We completely wall the moveset here, so I think all we have to do is overfarm, always come out with at least 2 Leaf Blades loaded before throwing. That way, if they come back in with the Primeape, we can go straight for a Leaf Blade. But no, we actually swap into Relicanth here. Probably just going to let this move go through. This should just be like a cross chop or a Night Slash here. It is a Night Slash. We're going to go for an Aqua Tail. An Aqua Tail will probably grab a shield from the opponent. Hopefully we can make it to another Aqua Tail before they farm us down, but no, we can't. And now can we make it to 2 Leaf Blades before they make it to 3 Charge Moves on the Primeape? I feel like we should be able to, but they did get a massive counter farm down. So let's see, the opponent goes for another Charge Move. They go for the Night Slash once again, but we do make it to the Leaf Blade in time, and this will easily be enough to take out the Primeape, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Relicanth into a Snorlax. So probably not a great lead for us, as Superpower would do a lot of super effective damage, but the opponent throws straight away, and I think this is just going to be a Body Slam, so we'll let this go through. Body Slam is resisted, doesn't do much damage. We're going straight for the Ancient Power. Ancient Power will be potentially getting a boost. No boost, unfortunately, for us, but we should be able to go for an Aqua Tail here. I think the opponent does have enough energy for a Superpower now, though, so let's see if the opponent does want to go for that Superpower. I believe we're probably just going to let Relicanth go down anyways, and it is the Superpower. So we come in with the Turtonator. They're going to make it to a Body Slam, but we can let this go through. They did debuff their attack and defense. I think that was actually another Superpower there, but it doesn't really make a difference. We do get the farm down, and the opponent comes in with a Unova and Stunfisk once again. So we're going to go for the Dragon Pulse, and then probably swap into our Go-Goat. We're actually going to stay in initially, and then swap there, trying to catch a move, not able to do so. This would be where Rock Slide would be quite good for us, but Leaf Blade is still such a good move that it does that much damage up against a Pelipper. And at this point, I think we could probably just double shield here, and maybe Vine Whip farm them down. So let's see. We're going to shield the first move. It was a CMP tie, I believe, so we go for the Leaf Blade here. Leaf Blade grabs the shield from the opponent, and at this point we can probably just commit to the double shield, fully farming them down. I don't think they're going to make another Weather Ball in time. They don't make the Weather Ball. We come out with a Leaf Blade loaded, and Leaf Blade from this range will be enough to take out the Unova and Stunfisk, and we take that game. Into the next game, we see Medicham in the lead, so we are going to swap into our Go-Goat, and the opponent responds with a Shadow Alola Ninetales with Charm. Not ideal for us, but you're going to see Leaf Blade is going to do so much damage in this matchup. It actually threatens a shield. We make it to Leaf Blade number 2. How much damage is this going to do to the Ninetales? It does a ton of damage there, and the opponent actually feels like they have to throw a charge move to get rid of us. So we're going to let it go through. We do have a shield advantage. We come in with the Turtonator, get the farm down. And they're running double fairy in the back, so we are going to probably shield this up. It's probably going to be a resisted move here, and it is the was that Moonblast or is it Meteor Mash? I don't know. I can't read the German, unfortunately. But we go for the Flash Cannon, grabbing a shield from the opponent. We're probably going to shield once again here. We would live this, but I'm not too sure about the Relicanth matchup up against that Medicham, so we do just make sure we do shield it up. We go for the Flash Cannon, taking them out, and they come back in with the Medicham. They make it to a charge move in time. Hopefully this is just an Ice Punch here, and it is. We do live it. We can go straight for the Dragon Pulse, and then I believe we're going to swap instantly into the Relicanth here, and we should be able to make it to an Aqua Tail before they do reach a Psychic. They get to the charge move here, but it is just a power-up punch, so that's fine with us. Aqua Tail should be enough damage from this range. to take out the Medicham, and we're able to take that game. And into the next game, we see another Unovan Stunfisk in the lead. So quite a lot of Unovan Stunfisk, quite interesting to see. Not the most common Pokemon that is existing in the meta right now, but interesting. And we're going to go for back-to-back Leaf Blades before the opponent even throws a charge move with their Wall Rain, and that does so much damage. Hopefully the Fine Whip will take them out here. They probably are at back-to-back Weather Balls, and it does take them out. They have to come back in with Unovan Stunfisk. What on earth have they got in the back here? We can easily tank that, go for a Leaf Blade. It looks like a CMP tie here, so Leaf Blade going to grab the shield from the opponent. We can even let this move go through, and we will do that. It is just another Mud Bomb. We can easily tank that, and the opponent swaps into Medicham. So interesting decision to come in with the Stunfisk there, but we're going to go for that Leaf Blade, swap into our Relicanth. Sorry, I just hit the mic there. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. And Aqua Tail, not going to do too much damage. I think we're just going to fully sacrifice the Relicanth here, and we are going to do that. The opponent goes for the Ice Punch there, resisted damage, not going to do much, unfortunately, for that Medicham. We go for the Aqua Tail, taking out the Medicham, and the opponent comes back in with the Stunfisk. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to say the opponent has no play there, so they do just concede the match. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.